Yeah, that's cool. That was a good intro. Anyway, so nobody heard that one, which is even better. Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How's everyone going? What's going on? I'm trying to get this all connected. Yeah, it's looking good. Have you on the group? Is it live on the group?
I'm just checking now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks like it. Sweet,
I think
excellent.
there must be just a little bit of a lag this morning.
Yeah, big time. Must be my end, I'm guessing. Oh well, doesn't matter. How are you, Esmeralda? You good?
I'm good.
Yeah,
How are you?
I'm really good. It's a little bit chilly this morning. Wish we
Yes,
could take my jumper off.
I put the heater on this morning. That's why I'm like not warmed up. But anyway, this weather is actually so nice. What's it like in the Gong?
Yeah, yesterday was beautiful. Just a bit windy, but sun's coming out. And you know what? The best day of the year is the 1st of September. Not because it's spring, because it's obviously my birthday, but yeah, because I reckon it's like the weather goes, hang on, it's time for us to get warm straight away, which is really cool.
Actually, on the coast, on the first day of spring, it was actually horrendous weather. It was cold, it was windy, it was raining.
I didn't want you guys to have all the good weather, mate. Took it all for myself.
Yeah.
We have to do it. How is everyone today? Hope you're doing really well. We're doing another Q&A today, which has been pretty cool for the Wednesday tradition. I love it. If you've got any questions you want to fire away to me live, please hit them in the chat box or in the comment box. I'd love to do it. Yeah, anything you want to ask, please be kind and don't be nasty. TikTok's very nasty, so I've decided not to go live on TikTok today, which is probably not a bad thing. As I was saying before, the first question I got asked, it was about the size of my penis, and I was not really ready to answer that question.
I mean, are you ever really ready to answer?
It's anywhere between this and this. Just guess. Yeah, just guess. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Good morning, beautiful humans. How is everyone? Jace, Kenny, Ash, Lise, Dan. Good morning. Good morning. Let's get straight into it today. We've got some pretty good ones. I'm not going to go sort of too deep in nerdy sort of ins and outs of everything. I just want to be specific in my answers and try and help everyone out as much as possible. I think the good part about Q&A is that we're trying to break down bits and pieces for everybody to make it simple. Weight loss is simple. We make it complicated. Health is simple. We make it complicated. Weight training simple. We make it complicated. So let's just make it easy for everyone. Is that cool?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh,
I'm saying that for everyone, really.
What was that?
I'm saying that for everyone else.
Okay. I like that. Okay, well, the first question we got was, can I bank my calories to use at the weekend? I have a special meal out and I don't want to spoil my progress. What? Did that pop up in there?
No.
Interesting. That's all right. Can I bank my calories to use at the weekend? I have a special meal out and don't want to spoil my progress. All right, so let's talk about, first of all, banking calories. What's banking calories? A lot of people out there want to take the week as an overall with their calories. So if we're looking at being in a deficit and we're, say, on 2,000 calories a day, let's use round figures. Did you hear that noise?
Yes.
The hell was that? That's weird. Anyway, yeah, so
technical difficulties.
Yeah, big time. Something's going. It's going to be one of those days today. I can feel it. Everything's going to poo. Yeah, so let's go back. If we're looking at 2,000 calories a day, we're banking our calories, which what it means overall is 14,000 calories a week, right? So banking your calories is maybe one day I have 1,000, maybe next day I have 3,000, maybe I don't think in a weight loss journey that is something that we really, really want to do. I'm all for deposits and withdrawals. So making my deposits every week, being super consistent with my calories every single day. So if I'm on 1,800 or 2,000 calories a day, I make sure I hit that target every single day. Now, if I'm coming to the weekend and I know I'm going to have a piss up or high calorie meal, let's not talk cheat meals. I hate that word. High calorie meal. What I'll do is I will budget for that the day of or before and say, hey, I might reduce my calories a little bit the Friday if I'm going out the Saturday. Or Saturday morning, I'll make sure I hit the gym, do my steps, maybe fast in the morning and then not have a massive lunch. I'll have a lighter lunch so I can go and splurge and eat schnitty and chips and all the gravy and shit that you want to eat. So me personally, I don't think banking calories is a great idea. I think being consistent with what you eat every day, protein, calories, making sure you hit your target is the better way mentally as well, to combat your big weekends.
You kind of like, if you're banking calories and you're restricting one day and then you're up again the next day, and you're kind of encouraging that yo-yo diet, really, aren't you? Like, you're doing the same thing essentially just from day to day, up and down. And if you have a day where you're only eating 1,000 calories, you're going to be starving.
Yeah.
But then if you restrict massively and then you go, okay, I'm going to restrict because then I want to go out and I want to enjoy myself, you're probably actually going to overeat. You're going to go, I am starving because I had nothing yesterday or nothing through the week.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat all the food that I can get my hands on now. And that's obviously not what you want to do. For me, I like to make sure that I have a really nice high protein, low calorie meal before I go out, because it keeps me full, makes me feel full. So I'm not like super, super hungry.
That's a great idea.
So I can have the food, like you can have the snitty, have the chips, allow for it.
Yep.
But fill yourself up on something high protein before you go out. And you're not going to eat the whole thing and then be like, oh, now I'm going to have the dessert as well.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We've got to remember that consistency is the key to weight loss, health, whatever lifestyle that you want to do. So if you're inconsistent with the way you're eating, i.e. banking your calories, I think it fucks with too many people's heads, and it goes back to missing the point of why we're trying to maintain or lose weight at the same time. So yeah, being consistent, hitting your calorie targets each day is more important to support your progress in weight loss. Cool.
And if you make those deposits, you can go out and enjoy a meal absolutely guilt-free.
Make sure you enjoy the meal and don't wake up the next day and say, fuck, I have to go and run a marathon so I can remove all the carbs that I ate yesterday. No.
Yeah.
The mindset should be, hey, I had a high-calorie meal yesterday. Guess what? I've got extra energy to burn off, so I'm going to go for a bushwalk or go to the gym and absolutely smash myself and use that energy to my advantage.
Yeah.
Make sense? Legends. Yeah, that was a good question. I like that one. Let's see if this one loads up today. Here we go. Yay. I'm doing great on my journey, but my partner isn't being supportive, meaning my life has changed and theirs hasn't. How has this affected others? That is a really cool and tough question. Let's go for a bit of experience from you first of how your partner's been on your journey, Ez, because if anybody doesn't know, Ez has lost a shit ton of weight. One of my favourite photos of Ez is in her, the grumpy, frumpy granny pants pulled up, under the boobs because she's hiding everything, and then her hands are in the side of that. Yeah, it was mad.
A bit more moon-shaped, though.
It was, it was very round. I'll just say that. But how was your partner supportive of your journey?
I have actually been very, very lucky. He has been super, super supportive. And you know what? I actually think that is what really helped me in the start. Having someone behind me that was super supportive. But there was times where, you all of a sudden start to make these changes and they start to notice. Like now I was starting to take a bit of time for myself to go to the gym. Now I was taking time to go and make nice food, and things started to change. And it's like, hang on, what are you doing? Like, what's happening here? And it was more about just being really open and saying, hey, things are changing for me. I don't expect you to change.
Yeah.
But this is why this is important to me. This is why I'm doing this. being very open and saying, I'm not leaving you behind. You're coming with me on the ride,
Yeah.
whether you like it or not.
That's the whole point of a relationship, isn't it?
Exactly. And, like I said, I haven't dealt with, someone that's been like, no, you can't do this and you can't do that.
Yeah.
Super supportive. But in the beginning, yes, I think there was a little bit of like hesitation, I guess, of like, well, what are you doing? And then I actually think that it was my guilt.
Yeah. Okay.
Guilt of like, oh, but I'm taking time away from my family. He's going to get upset with that. He actually wasn't upset with it. I thought he was. And then I was making an issue out of something that wasn't actually an issue. And he's like, it's fine. Go to the gym.
Yeah.
You're happier when you go to the gym anyway.
Yeah. I think it's really hard when you're on a journey of being a better version of yourself and the ones you love don't come for the ride. Like lack of support from your partner or your family in anything in life is super challenging. Super challenging. And I think, first of all, you got to look at yourself and go, well, what am I doing to combat this situation? Am I being open and transparent? Am I sharing my journey? Am I being egotistical and showing off because I'm getting results and my partner's not? So let's look at ourselves first and go, okay, are we doing something to jeopardize the relationship? Okay, no. If you're not, cool. Are you being open and transparent? Are you telling them, hey, I'm super depressed. I feel like shit. I can't look at myself in the mirror. I do not want to feel this way anymore. I need to do this because in order for me to be the best version I can for you, I have to do this for me. And that's being selfish. And selfish, as everybody knows, is one of my fucking favorite words. Because to me, selfish is two words. Self being you and ish is being a little bit, right? Ish. So there is nothing wrong with putting a little bit of time into yourself to be the best you can be. But if you're not open and honest with your partner, how can your relationship maintain it? And how can you stay motivated to transform yourself if you don't have that support? So first of all, look at yourself. Are you doing something to jeopardize that relationship, not being open and transparent? Secondly, are you having those tough conversations about the reason why it's important for you to do that? Thirdly, why don't you get them to join you on your journey? Be a part of it. They might not need to lose weight. They might not feel depressed about themselves, but it could be the one thing that sets intention in the family to have a goal that everybody can reach to and they can feel and understand what you're going through. So it's important for communication, but first of all, for me, don't look at the partner, look at yourself and say, what are you doing that's making this situation shit?
Yeah. And understanding too that not everyone's ready at the same time. Like, okay, even if your partner is overweight, you standing there going, you need to come for a walk or you need to do this with me because that's what I'm doing to be better.
Yeah.
That's only going to make it 100 times worse.
Definitely.
They're just going to go, you know what? I don't want to do any of that with you. And then it's going to cause even more tension in the relationship.
Yeah, totally.
Support. And they're just going to go, well, you do you, I'll do me. I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Just say, I'd love you to come for a walk with me. I understand if you don't want to, but I'd love you to because I'd love to spend some time with you. Not come for a walk with me to get fit and healthy. I'd love to spend some time with you.
Yeah.
On the day, talk about where we're at and what our goals are.
Everyone's quick to blame the other person. As why I was saying my biggest point is, it's like when some of the clients come to you and they talk to you about their relationship with their partner and what they're not doing and they're not doing this and they're not doing that, and you look at them and say, hey, well, what are you fucking doing yourself? Like, what are your intentions? And Carly made a good point here. It may not be intentional the way they are, but partner is more than likely feeling left behind. Get them involved, get them to take your photo, share your journey with them, 100%. That's great advice, Carls, because if you don't share what you're going through and how it's making you feel, like how can you get supported? So yeah, that's a really cool question. It's a tough one. It's easy to say, hey, fuck the partner off. Get rid of toxic people out of your life. That's not that's not easy to do.
If at the end of the day they still don't support you after doing the right things, let them do their thing. Surround yourself with people that do support you. So on those days where you're feeling unmotivated and you're feeling like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Still, you don't necessarily just need your partner there to support you, because you have a whole group of people around you lifting you up.
Yeah. Exactly right.
One person can support you.
Yeah, and Carly's like, eventually they'll catch up because they'll want to have that fired up libido you have 100%. That's the hard part about getting them to take your progress photos. Because most of the time you're in your undies and it's like, hey, you know what's going on? I can see some changes going on here. That's hilarious. But yeah, so let's quick recap is be open and transparent with your partner. If they're not supporting you because you probably haven't told them why you're on this journey, but look deep inside yourself and say, what are you doing to make this right? Like you should be the first call of back point of action. Cool. Good question. All right, the next one we've got today is, before I started my journey, carbohydrates were 80% of my daily calories. I love carbs. What is a healthy percentage of carbohydrates to be consuming? I want to make this purely quick and simple. We want to have low-calorie, high-protein diet. We still want to eat carbs and fats. We get our clients to set their protein target at 40%, and then the carbs and fats at 30 and 30. That's an ideal situation for carbohydrate intake. The reason why your daily calorie intake is 80% at the moment is because you're eating refined sugars and processed foods. Simple as that, right? And that's full of shitty carbs, and that's why your carbohydrate level is so high. So there's no sort of ideal percentage. Me being someone that does distance cycling and running, I like to have a higher carb intake because I need that to fuel myself when I'm doing my runs and my bike. But for the average mum and dad that wants to lose weight, and that's what we're talking about today, we set 40% protein, 30 carbs, 30 fats, and then we can tinker with the fats and carbs later on when we want to sort of
change down the track.
Yeah, when you've got to a maintenance point. But focus on the quality of your carbohydrates, I think, is important. Making sure we have, whole grains, fruits, veggies. Just stay away from processed foods and refined sugars, and then you'll be better off in the long run. That's probably the best way to answer that question. I've got a question here on Instagram. How has life changed since the change of career, and how hard was it to make that decision? Wow. Thanks, Benny. That's a great question. Life has changed immensely since I changed careers. I am purpose-driven now, which is beautiful. Before, I was career-driven, and I think that's something that really held me back from being who I actually am. So now I'm purpose-driven, which is absolutely amazing. Making that decision, hands down, has been one of the toughest decisions I've had to make in my life. Purely from a standpoint of, it was a family business and I had to leave that and follow something that I believed in, and I still do to this day. But hands down, the greatest decision I've ever made, because I'm a better person for it. I am, as I said, purpose-driven, but I also have I wake up and want to do this and make people happy and better their lives and better myself, and my family knows that I'm a better person for it. So yeah, that's probably the best way to answer that question.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Thanks, Benny. Yeah, well, it's the true story, man, because as everybody knows, like, if you're grinding away working for somebody else for so many years and the only benefits that you get are possibly a steady paycheck and maybe retirement at 64 and getting a golden handshake, whatever that is, I don't want that. I want to be 85 and still doing podcasts and running marathons, and I told my kids I'm going to live to 104. So yeah, I'm not going back, if that's the question that you want to ask.
Charlie just said the same thing.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't have him back. He's ours.
I can't go back to it. I don't think I would ever go back to it. It's been the hardest part. I reckon I'm working harder now than I was before, even though I was, in a lucrative position running massive construction company jobs and stuff like that. But it's harder now because obviously I'm playing more hours in, but I'm getting so much more benefit and rewards out of it. It's worth everything. So yeah, it was a great question to ask, and I appreciate that. What have we got today? This will be right up my alley. I just turned 45 and you wouldn't believe it, but okay. I'm over 45. Is it too late for me to build muscle? Will I find it harder? Okay. In a nutshell, it's never too late to build muscle. Okay, never. It's harder and probably takes a lot longer and is a little bit more challenging to build muscle as we get older. But it's never too late.
And it depends on the starting point too. Like say, there's someone that's over 45 that is still quite overweight. Your starting point's going to be very different from someone that's not overweight that wants to build a bit of muscle. It's
definitely
personal circumstances, really, isn't it? It's going to be hard to build muscle for anyone. Like building muscle is not easy.
No, but let's look at your body structure now in 45. If you're 45 and severely overweight, it's going to be a lot harder and longer for you to build muscle, definitely. If you're 45 and reasonably active, different story. Weight, it doesn't matter. It's harder to recover as you get older, which, obviously you need recovery for muscles to build and stuff like that. So younger ages, it's quicker and easier to build muscle fast. But I'm not in it for looking like Schwarzenegger. I'm in it for overcoming sarcopenia, or I'm in it for not being the 80-year-old hunchback that's walking around. And, I want to be strong and fit and bending down to pick the grandkids up, or, still working out, doing whatever I have to do, like running. I think, to me, it's super important that I continue weight training until my older years, so I'm resisting the temptation of my muscles degrading so quick. I mean, over the age of 40, we lose 1% muscle and bone structure, or whatever it is, every year. And the only way to combat that is to weight train. So while it might be slightly more challenging due to age-related factors, regular weight training 3 days a week, keeping your diet in check, making sure your protein's 1.5 to 2 grams per target body weight. Doesn't mean if you're 150 kilos you need to eat 300 grams of protein. If your target weight's 200 grams of protein is really good. But yeah, keeping your diet well track, making sure your protein levels are high, weight training 3 days a week, off your ass walking. There is no reason why you can't build muscle over the age of 45. The only thing stopping you is you.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Anything to add?
No, I think you've covered that.
Cool. All right. This is probably going to be one of my favorite questions in the world, because I absolutely love coffee. How much caffeine is too much caffeine? Can I take pre-workout and have my coffee still? Okay. I think too much caffeine is when you're doing... I don't know. Look, this is, again, a no right or wrong answer, because everybody's adjusted to caffeine differently. I know me personally, I couldn't live without... I probably could, but it'll be tough. I drink probably 1, 2, 3 coffees a day, I reckon, and they're long blacks and they're tall, so there's a lot of water in them. And I actually make sure I have a filter coffee, which is not as strong, still same amount of caffeine in them. But I think we need to be aware, especially when we're younger, about our intake of caffeine and the way it affects us, our heart rate, and the way, how much blood that pumps around our body. Then this causes, at the moment, the Prime, those guys that invented Prime have got this new energy drink out that has over the recommended amount of caffeine, and kids are pouring it down their throats. It's not good for kids that are younger. But the question asked about, can I take pre-workout and have my coffee? Yes, you can. If that's what you want to do, 100%, you can. Just make sure you know how much caffeine's in your pre-workout, and don't drink too many coffees beforehand.
There's quite a high percentage of caffeine in pre-workouts, isn't there? Like, I think
it varies. Some
brands can be like, 18 cups of coffee or something, like 18 coffees, such. And that, to me, I'm like, what's the point in taking it? Because it makes you feel like shit anyway. Like, has anyone ever had a pre-workout and got like real jittery and like itchy skin, and then you have the full dip, the come down, you feel sick? And to me, I have a coffee before I work out.
Yeah. Yeah, my pre-workout is peanut butter and jam on rice cakes, or a handful of the kids' Milo, or what's the other Cheerio cereal, like, because I'm getting carbs and sugar and like quickly. Like, that's more important to me. Carbs are more important to me at the gym. I like coffee because I absolutely love the taste of coffee. I love the bitterness, and maybe because I'm bitter, but I like coffee. Don't answer that question, smartass. I love caffeine in coffee because it just makes me feel good. But the recommended daily intake for most adults is like about 400 milligrams, which is 4 cups of coffee. So yeah, the question asked about pre-workout, is it safe? 100% it is. Just make sure you don't have too many coffees before or after. Oh my god. Yeah, you stop it, Carly. You're going to have to stop with these little. Just be mindful that caffeine can alter your sleep. So let's try not to have coffee too late in the day. For me personally, I can drink coffee at 10 o'clock at night and still have a good sleep, but that's just my adjustment to coffee. No, Mike, you and coffee are both warm at heart. Wow, that's beautiful. I had to put that in there. So yeah, how much caffeine is too much caffeine? Know your limit. Don't mix pre-workout with too many coffees. If you want pre-workout, maybe don't have your coffee in the morning. Just use that as your coffee. But yeah, that's all I got really to say for that. Anything to add?
No.
Cool.
Again, you covered it.
All right. Next one. These are big questions today. Like, why can't we just get one-liners? Well, wouldn't be Q&A. I have 15 kilos to lose. What is the point in weight training when I can't even see my muscles? Should I be focusing more on cardio just now?
No. Stop the cardio. Stop the cardio. Just don't do it.
So, okay, you've got 15 kilos to lose. What's the point in weight training when I can't even see my muscles? Okay, we all have muscles. It's like the people that say, oh, I don't have abs. Yeah, you do. You have abs. They're just hidden by a layer of fat. Excuse me, simple as that. So the point of weight training is so you can build a frame underneath. You can increase your metabolism. You can eat more food because you've got a bigger engine. You can burn more fuel.
And actually, I think for people that still have roughly 15 kilos to lose, weight training is so much more beneficial because you're going to lose the weight quicker.
Yeah.
So much quicker.
Yep.
Than just doing cardio all the time. And
correct.
To do cardio all the time.
Yeah, if your cardio is bang for buck in cardiovascular, increasing your heart rate, your lung capacity, great. That's not what we're here for. We're talking about weight loss, health and wellness. Weight training is so much more beneficial in the long run. Obviously, building muscle takes time, but underneath all that fat that you've got to lose, you're building this frame. So hence why we start people in a calorie deficit, because we want you to lose the fat first, but hit the gym at the same time. So you're building the frame underneath. So all of a sudden, when you start getting your little bits of fat moving away, you're starting to see these little bulges pop up, which is usually the bicep or the tricep or your shoulders first, because they're got less fat on them than your chest and your back and your abs. But that's what we want you to do, is build the frame underneath. So when you get to a point where you start losing your calories, definition comes through, well, you're way ahead of the game, aren't you? If you're just sitting there bashing out cardio all day, eating in a moderate deficit and up in your protein, you'll lose weight, but you won't build a frame. You'll just go back to, flabby skin and whatever's left over. So we want you to build a frame so you can see the definition come through. Yeah, it definitely does make it harder. Yeah. But strength training, if you do it reasonably intense, in reasonably good intensity, you can actually elevate your heart rate like you're doing a brisk walk and that anyway. So it's kind of a lot more beneficial than just doing cardio. I think a lot of people, there's this misconception is, I do heaps of cardio, I burn heaps of fat. No. It's not the way it works. So focus on weight training, focus on high protein, focus on the calorie deficit. That's how you'll lose the weight, build a frame, get a bigger metabolism, be able to burn more fuel, eat more food, be happy.
Don't focus on the fact that, you can't see your muscles. Focus on how you feel week to week, month to month. Are you starting to feel stronger?
Yeah.
Like, you've got to kind of switch the thought pattern of, I'm doing this to lose weight. Okay, if you can't see the muscles and you're doing it to lose weight, great.
Yeah.
But focus on how you feel. Are you upping your weights in the gym? Are you starting to feel like your skin's tightening a little bit? That was the first thing that I started to notice, was my skin started to get tighter on my legs. Like, that's a really good feeling. And I still had a lot of weight to lose when I started to notice that. But if you're wholly and solely just going, nah, I've got 15 kilos to lose, I'm just going to get on the treadmill. Well,
Yeah.
you're not going to notice these changes, and you're going to be really disheartened when you don't notice these changes. And if you're not hitting the weight loss quickly, you're just going to give up.
Yep. So 15 kilos is a lot of weight to lose, but while you're losing that weight, build the frame underneath. And then when the weight's gone, you'll have this awesome little physique that you'll be proud of, and you'll have results shown for all that effort, for all that time, rather than not weight training, losing weight, and just going, oh, hey, I've got nothing underneath. I feel like just skin and bones. We don't want that. So, super important. Still focus on cardio, as in walking. If you want to run. If you want to ride, cool. We don't have to if you don't want to. I love it, so I do it. But focus on weight training.
But you also still lift weights.
Can do it all. Yep.
Consistently.
Cool. Which leads us into the next question. I really hate cardio. I have a lot of weight to lose and find it uncomfortable even with a good sports bra. What would you suggest instead? I can't answer the sports bra.
Duct tape those babies down.
Yeah, I was talking to Carly and Erin this morning about how I've increased my chest size. But yeah, so you have a lot to wait. Okay, we basically answered that question already. If you hate cardio, don't do cardio. Okay.
And that's gonna actually really benefit the ladies with bigger breasts. That running is very, very uncomfortable. I don't really know myself either, but people that I've spoken to, it's uncomfortable. It's painful. It's not enjoyable. Just don't run. Lift weights.
Yeah.
So much better. And just invest in a really good sports bra, duct tape, just whatever you're going to do.
Excellent. So duct tape. Coach Erin says duct tape your boobs, and then you won't have to worry about. So if you hate cardio, that's high intensity, don't do it. If you're uncomfortable with a bigger set of boobs, and don't do it. Like F45s and stuff like that can be severely uncomfortable with people that have got a bigger frame, but also bigger boobies. The 10K steps is the only cardio we need, isn't it? Yeah, 100% it is. That's hence why we say. The thing with people that have got a lot of weight to lose, you're basically a walking gym, okay? If you're a person that's 150 kilos and you're the average male, and your average male should be about 75 to 85 kilos, that's just by average weight. You've got nearly a double human on your body, so you're a walking gym. So why would we want you to vigorously exercise and fuck your joints up, especially your knees, because your knees and your hips and your ankles are carrying all that weight? Why would we say, hey, go and run? No.
That's pressure.
We want low impact. We want you to get off your ass. And what is the easiest thing to do in the world that we all know what to fucking do? And that's walking. So that is the best form of cardio available.
It's probably the lowest impact of cardio as well.
Yep. It sure is.
It doesn't pace that you're walking. It doesn't just move.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's what we do every single day. It is the easiest form of cardio. It's low heart rate. It gets it up a little bit and not too much, depending on the way you walk. So, yeah, if you don't like vigorous cardio, don't do vigorous cardio. Just walk. That is hands down the best thing for you. 10,000 steps a day is a magic number because it's 10,000. That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it. All right. It's a target goal. That's all it is. It builds habits and consistency. If you can only do 5,000 steps a day and you were doing 1,000 before, that's fantastic. If you did 5,000 and you can do 7 now, great. That's even better. But if you were doing 7 and you can do 10, you're doing 10 and you can do 12, just increase the distance you're walking. And you think about it, 10,000 steps is roughly 9 to 10 Ks worth of walking. It's a lot of walking. And if we're all sitting on our ass, most of us get 2.5, 3,000 steps, which means we're just walking around the house doing 3 Ks of walking. Up your intensity of how much you're doing. So, yeah, if it's uncomfortable, don't do it. End of story. Low impact. All right, cool. 2 questions to go. Number 8, Pete. Okay, you don't want to work today. When it comes to eating veggies, does it matter if it's frozen or fresh?
I love a steam frozen pack.
Yeah.
So convenient. I love it.
So both of them are nutritious. In many cases, frozen veggies still retain their nutrients because they're frozen pretty much shortly after they've been harvested.
That frozen veggies were less nutritious than what fresh was.
Nope. So you got to think about it. They've frozen them pretty much after harvesting.
Yeah, like snap frozen. Yeah.
So it's everything that was there has been kept intact. So freezing things, all it does is freeze the water inside it. Like meat has got 90% water in it. It's just freezing the water. Okay. Vegetables is the same thing. It's freezing the water inside, hence why the nutrients stay in there. So just choose what's convenient for you to fit into your meal plan. I love having a bag of frozen cauliflower and broccoli rice because I love eating that rather than rice, so I can keep my carbs down sometimes. Takes a minute to heat up. It's great. Those little steam bags you can get with the mixed veggies, fantastic. There's no detriment to the nutritional value with frozen vegetables. I think that's all we need to say on that.
Yeah, Carl's made a good point too. She said it's the way that you cook them.
100%. Sauces, the additives.
But even if you have to boil things, I know that, remember when I used to boil like vegetables and the water would turn green or whatever color it was that whatever you were cooking.
Yeah.
You don't realize that that's actually the good stuff that you've just gotten rid of.
Yeah. Exactly right. Yeah. So hence, if you steam them in the bag, that can keep the nutrients in with them. But yeah, if you're frying the veggies and you're chucking oil on them, 100%. Excuse me, they're going to be shit. But just use them as the way nature intended them. I love raw vegetables. Call me weird. I can eat a zucchini.
You are weird.
I cut the top off. I can eat a zucchini like an apple. I love zucchini.
Oh,
I know.
Nah.
It's fine. And broccoli stalks. You know what I did the other day? Broccoli stalks. I think I told someone. It might have been Carly. I air fried the broccoli stalk. Like I cut the knobbly bits off.
Like steam it first or anything?
Huh?
You didn't steam it first or anything?
No. Just cut it into chip sizes and put it in the air fryer and put a little bit of seasoning. Oh, it's delightful.
Would you not snap a tooth off?
No, it's not that hard when you peel like that much off the end of it, off the edges. It's delicious. Absolutely delicious.
I might actually have to give that a go because that's somewhat cooked, like in the air fryer. That's still somewhat cooked.
Yeah, it's cooked. I mean, but I sit there and chew on. She uses broccoli stalks in stir fry. Some of the same thing, Ash. Yeah, but I sit there and I'll chew on the broccoli stalk. Like kids, you're weird, Dad. I'm just like it's.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't say that I've ever done that.
Man, you're missing out. You'll do it next time.
My sister used to eat carrots. Just with a carrot. I'm like,
what's wrong with that? It's great.
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't sit well in my head.
I can tear apart a bag of snake. You know what I love to eat? And then this might sound weird, but I don't really care. Just baby spinach, like chips. I just like to eat it out of the bag.
That's very weird.
It's delicious.
So next time, if you're talking to Mike and you hear a rustling,
crunch it.
Not the chips.
I'm nailing a bag of baby spinach.
Oh my God, imagine being your dogs and they hear the rustle in the packet and they think, yes, we're on. And they're like, damn it.
Yeah.
No treats here.
So a good mate of mine, he used to do it. I used to video game with him and he used to hear him crunching. And I'm like, what are you eating? He's like, I'm just eating baby spinach. I'm like, what the fuck? So I tried it and I was like, yeah, fair call. Do you dive knee deep into your raw spuds, Mike? I don't know how to take that question. I don't eat raw potatoes.
Actually, do you know Chase used to eat raw potatoes when he was younger? He was
Wow.
probably about like 1.5, 2, and I used to like go through the shopping center and he would scream at me from the trolley and be like, "I want the potato," and
Yeah.
he'd eat a raw potato through the shopping center. Do you
Oh
know
my God.
like what is happening here? I'm like, I don't know. He won't eat cooked potato, but he'll eat a raw potato.
Kids, eh? Yeah, no, I don't. I love spuds, and spuds are my favourite vegetable, but I will not eat a raw spud. I air fry the shit out of those things. Okay, last one. Both myself and my partner are on our weight loss journey, and he's losing weight faster than me. Is this because I'm female? It's probably because you're not putting enough effort in, to be honest. It's probably because you're comparing yourself to someone else that you're not, to be honest. It's probably because the molecular structure of a man and a woman is totally different. Women have bigger hips by nature and bigger busts, and there's so many different factors, but it comes down to what you are eating, how you're training, your mindset, your discipline. Genetics play a significant role, yes, but don't compare yourself to something you can't be. If you're a male and your partner's female, if you're a female and your partner's male and he's losing more weight quicker, that's just because that's what happens with men. Don't compare yourself to it. If your friend...
There are some women that lose weight a lot quicker than men.
Sure is.
It just depends individually as well. Like,
Yep.
Starting points are different. Your partner might start at 100 kilos.
Yeah.
Start at 60. Vice versa.
Exactly.
Different starting points, different metabolisms, different history. Like if you have a history of yo-yo dieting, it's going to be a little bit harder for you to lose weight because you've got to regulate your metabolism again.
Yeah, totally agree.
If your partner hasn't, and they've just eaten really bad for a really long time, not the yo-yo, it's going to be easier for them to lose weight because their metabolism isn't screwed.
Yep, correct. So pure and simple is focus on your own shit. Make sure you're disciplined, make sure you're hitting your steps, make sure you're eating your protein target, make sure you're in a calorie deficit and you'll lose weight. Do not compare yourself to anybody else. Do not. Focus on your own progress, focus on your own goals, and remember that slow and steady wins the weight. Slow and steady wins the race when it comes to weight loss. It's got to be sustainable because it's a marathon. It's not a 100-meter dash that's going to be over in 10 seconds. It's going to take a lot of hard work, a lot of effort, a lot of discipline, but it's on you. So stop focusing on comparisons. A thief of joy. End of story.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there is genetics that it's involved and you can't help that with men and women, but too bad. Focus on yourself. Cool. That's it.
I think that's a great way to end it. Focus on you.
Well, we're talking about health and wellness and weight loss, and that's our primary subject to talk about. So you've got to focus on your why. Why are you doing this? It's all to come back to, I feel like shit. I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to look like this anymore. Well, that's your why. So focus on that.
Yeah.
Focus on that. Don't focus on somebody or something that you cannot be, and you will not be. You are only you. You're made up different. We're all same. We breathe the same air. We bleed the same blood. Our structures are different. Our mindset's different. Focus on you.
Well, actually, we don't bleed the same blood because all of us have different blood types as well.
Oh, same color. All right. Jesus. Sorry. I thought we weren't going nerdy on this. All right, be corrected.
Okay, we're all different.
All right, we breathe different air too because some have smog in cities. Anyway. Focus on yourself. All right, let's go back to the absolute basics in weight loss and health and wellness is what's your why?
Dr. Aaron.
I don't want to be depressed, so get discipline in your life. Do things that are going to make you feel better, and you'll hit that target. But it's not a fucking sprint; it's a marathon.
Keep it simple, though.
Yep, keep it simple. That's right. That's what I said at the start. We're our worst enemy when it comes to anything in life. We can do absolutely. I'm from New Zealand now. We can do absolutely anything we want to do. Our biggest restriction is ourselves.
Yeah.
All right, let's end it on that. So, you guys, thanks for joining us today. I really appreciate it, Benny, for that extra question over there, which was really cool. I love that stuff. Putting me on the spot's the best way to answer those things. If we brought you some value today, please like the post and send us a comment and say, thank you, that was great. No, that was shit. Whatever you want to do, I don't really care. We'll get back to you guys. If there's any other questions you want us to ask next week, put them in the comment box and I'll get to them and I'll add them to the list. But feel free to contact us anytime. But till then, see